Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2013. This is bargaining session number 9 between the city and the rank and file unit, and we'll call it 1:28 on the clock, so we're getting an early start. Last session, the city put out a best and final, and just waiting for a response from you guys. If you have, that was the best and final related to the reduced work week, not the best and final.
Correct.
Regarding salaries.
We have several things here we want to touch on, and then we will touch on the reduced again.
Okay.
With another angle. This one here is something we had spoken about regarding holidays. Yes. We just, some of this is clarification. I know we had looked at a larger amount of hours regarding holidays. And this was one of the offers, I believe, last contract to bump up some holiday storage availability. I know the captains and DCs were looking at it. Did you get one? Thank you. Basically, the only change here, and we had spoken about this, is like I said, this is something that we hadn't signed off on, was basically bumping it from 120 to 200.
That would be in line with supervisors.
Supervisors are. And this was something that hadn't been TA'd. Again.
Okay. Is this part of a package, or is this a standalone?
Regardless of where,
Okay.
and we'll touch base on this again. But regardless of the outcome on the work week and GWIs and everything, this is something that
Fair enough.
I wanted to.
Okay, and you have it in here, you want to go from 120 to 200 in storage. Okay, do you expect all those to be paid out?
As far as, I apologize, where were you? I'm sorry.
The pay, excuse me, the payouts, you expect that you'll be able to have all those paid out like you do for your holiday time off?
Regarding the end of your career, regarding, we're talking the 200?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure I follow you with your...
Do you carry over your holiday time in a year, or is it paid out if you don't use it in a year? What happens to it?
No, it automatically goes to your
It
check.
always rolls up to the
It
next
always
roll.
rolls to the next one.
Okay.
Right. Okay, I apologize, I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
no, that's, I wasn't wording it right.
Okay. I'll do that with the schedule. This is the, yeah, this was just a language change on the accrual numbers that we did, and I believe this is something we had both looked at and agreed on. Did you get one? Mine on top? No, that's holidays. That might be mine. Is that the top one? It would be page 3. Basically, there was a scratch out, and under E, where it went from 52 to 40 and 40, the accruals. This was the language from Julie, basically.
Understood.
I think we both.
That's fine.
You just want to look at the other one?
Yeah.
You copied it from that?
That's fine.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much where we're at with that. That was just something that we figured we needed to have
All right, well,
in
this,
print.
It's
and,
easier, it clarifies it much easier than when you're reading a paragraph trying to go
You guys want
on.
to be, you know, one of
all right, well, there's still some references in here to the 52-hour work week and so forth, and if
True,
we need
but
to,
it covers everything.
Yeah, if we need to cut and paste this part out of it,
Sure.
we can do that.
Sure. It goes from 52 to 40, 52 to 48, 48 to 52. Yeah, and it covers everything. And like you said, if we could.
Has anyone verified them? Has Julie looked them over, or?
Yes,
I believe I got them
actually,
right from her.
no, actually, these were sent to us from Julie.
From Julie,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. Not that I don't trust you guys, but.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. This involves the scheduled work week and overtime. Yeah, I got it. At this time, we've negotiated back and forth. There's two areas that we have in here that we're looking to, one, if you were going to go very real quick to the back page, 22.8, I know there was some discussion on the exchange of duty. This is basic language regarding exchange of duty time. It's what it's doing is securing exchange of duty time in our contract.
Isn't this already in a
No.
writing somewhere?
We have a policy about it. It's not contractual.
It is, but, all right, that's fine.
And also,
I understand.
in the past, until we can come to an agreement, hopefully in the near future regarding annual leave selection on page 3. If you look at page 3E, first, the purposes of the 3 rounds of annual leave equals the 10 slots, be allocated as follows, 5, 3, and 2.
Where are we at, Mike? I'm sorry.
Page 3, 22.4E.
Okay.
We still feel at this time, because of the numbers involved and the accrual rates, we still feel that an additional slot is warranted and needed to cover the vacation.
All right, I can see what you're doing. I mean, it's not, I think it's a bit redundant that we should probably just get rid of the whole last sentence if we're going to agree to.
Well, it's
Your
covered,
change in the
right,
first
it'd be the
sentence.
first, and yeah.
But anyway, I
Correct.
understand the 5.3, I'm sorry, the 5.3.2, that's an internal matter if you guys are
Correct.
happy with that.
Correct.
So you're not, just for my clarification.
Just reallocating.
It's still, you're just reallocating.
At this time, till we
Okay.
can, yeah, our intent is to secure an additional slot somehow.
But this language is just
But this-
reallocating the
At this
current.
time,
Okay.
yes.
Can you say at some point, this contract?
It's not going anywhere this contract,
Okay.
obviously. So
Okay.
if this turns out to be a 3-year contract, 1-year contract, who knows? It will obviously be revisited.
Fair enough.
Okay. That was it on the scheduled work week and overtime. This is a proposal, one more time, for the, I guess it would be a counter on your best. For the most part, the best and final, what we've done is we've revisited a lot of the numbers one more time. And I will go through it and explain it. It's covered for the most part. Same. Get one more. Hour work week with the additional 18 firefighters. The cost, the unfunded liability per firefighter, which is what obviously a new firefighter and everyone that is employed with the fire department is pretty much bearing that cost at this time. So the true cost for the 18 firefighters, instead of the 1,386, would be 1,149. 2% the first year to go to max. Employees in max. The steps would stay in place. The savings from the first year would be $111,000. 3% GWI to exchange the 3%. apply it towards the reduced work week. The amount from the step employees is 111. The steps would stay in place. Accrual reduction savings, total savings, 48-hour work week to take effect October 2015, 3% on the third year. Exchange 1% of that 3 GWI towards the reduced work week is 168. True cost for 48-hour work week and 18 additional firefighters, 149. Savings at 1058. The cost on the rear, or the last page. We have put what we feel was the initial R-Day back in '86, where we took a unit, which was, I believe, called the Squad 5 out of service, which provided 5 firefighters from each shift, totaling 15. The city did hire 6 at that time, and added up to the 21 firefighters needed. This proposal here would not take any units out of service. We feel it's more than fair, and has been proven using telestaff that 18 firefighters would be sufficient to cover the reduced work week and keep all units up and running.
Can I mention something? For the total cost, it's $91,688. That doesn't include FLSA savings, which if that was added into it would basically be a wash. The only thing we're asking the city to bear the burden for is the unfunded liability, which was back when we had Mayor Baker in office and we went to before City Council. He actually stated the fact that the unfunded liability was not the firefighter's cost, that was due to the city. It's not your fault, it's not anybody's fault. It was done 30 years ago. But he openly stated that it wasn't something that was our responsibility to bear. That was an issue that the city created years ago. That was the only thing we're asking. As far as we can see right now at this point in time, not including the FSLA, it's $91,000. With FSLA, it should almost be a wash. And through telestaff has shown that it can be done with 18 firefighters. But the issue we have is, and we know that the chief is pushing for 21 firefighters. The fact is you could press for 50 firefighters. It doesn't matter. If 18 will handle it, 18 will handle it.
If you look back at our proposal, even with 18, the city is still coming up too much in the red to fund this.
Regarding
this, because I don't care whose fault it is about this unfunded liability or whatever, and I appreciate you bringing that up, but it is a reality, it's a cost, and we can't just sweep it under the carpet. We're already in the red enough, and if the city takes on another $236,000, we're pushing close to $500,000 that the city would have to eat in 16 to make this happen. So I don't need to caucus or anything. I cannot accept this. You have seen the city's numbers. We've worked on them together for a month now. You've seen what the costs are. All we're asking is for you to really take those numbers to heart and find $200,000 somewhere. And that was the cost of a slot, 0.5% on the pension, or even giving up maybe the steps that are planned for 15 and 16. Any of those, the city will sign today to give you the reduced work week. And what's the downside of taking that back? There isn't. I don't understand the hesitation. Take that back. If your members reject it, they reject it. That's the worst that could happen. You come back to the table, you get a 1-year contract with a 2% GWI and the steps and whatever else you might secure. You win. You win either way. Why? I don't understand the reluctance on taking something back. It's time for us to...
We're doing everything we can to get the best possible
I understand.
contract to take back membership.
We were at this point a month ago.
Well, the problem we've had is we've offered it in a number of situations where it would be cost effective. And in my opinion, it's not on that's not on us. We gave you one presentation.
You're focusing on items that are soft costs, or you're trying to focus on things that you feel aren't really a burden to the city, and you're missing the point that the city needs more from you guys to fight us. This is a reduced work week that you want as a group, so it's going to come with sacrifices. The city, and you make it sound like you're doing all the giving, but even using your numbers, that's $1 million that the city is giving this group to reduce its work week.
You know, that's the one thing I've heard, Chris, and I disagree with it. Because the way I look at it is if I have $1 million worth of benefits, and I'm willing to trade you that $1 million of benefits for a different $1 million of benefits, the city isn't paying that. If you gave us all the raises, you gave us a GWI the first year for everybody, a GWI the second year for everybody, a GWI the third year for everybody,
Plus steps.
and then the benefits, then you would be giving it to us and you would be paying for it. If we're willing to take $1 million worth of benefits and trade them for $1 million worth of benefits, the city's not paying for it. That's a wash. We're giving up benefits to get a benefit.
We're not getting any benefit from that. We're paying the money. We're paying the $1.5 million, the $1 million, $1.3 million, $1.5 million, however you want to look at it. The city is giving you that money. You either put it in your pockets,
Right.
or you reduce your work week and you work less. You tell us how you want it.
It is a wash, and it's not that the city's paying for it. We're trading for it. It's a wash.
So this offer then is,
That's, yeah, I'm sorry, I was hoping for something.
okay, we're going to go ahead and take
That
the
would
call.
close the gap, okay.
Is there a place close we can?
Actually, we'll go.
We'll go.
There's probably not, I don't think there's anything up there on this floor. So just call me, 7419. This is about the best you're gonna do, unless you want another spot.
Yeah, we'll walk, three of us will go. There's more. Okay, we back?
All right, there's one. Back from caucus, it is 2:15. What you got?
Regarding the work week and overtime, the additional or the
Okay.
14 to 7 day
Yep.
work week. We have another,
Wait,
Yeah,
you're already there.
Yeah, we already got that.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, reduced work.
reduced work week.
I know what
I
you
was looking. I apologize. We're looking to possibly, obviously, we don't have it in writing. I think you'll get the gist of it when I cover it. Our holiday accrual exchange at this time. We're looking at exchanging, going from 12 hours per holiday to 9 hours per holiday, which would actually save the city approximately just over $200,000.
So you wanna have less of a holiday benefit.
Keep everything else.
So right now, you
Okay.
you 10 holidays at 12 hours apiece.
Yes.
Every firefighter gets 120 hours
Yes.
per year. You're saying reducing that by a third or a quarter.
A quarter. Extend the holiday max to 200. The annual would go from 120 basically to, what was it, 90? 90. That would save just about $200,000, which is the number I believe we were looking at.
Okay, so reduce holidays
I have figures here if you want.
25%. So we're using the average salary, is that what you
Yes,
did?
2380
$23.80.
times 279. Was it?
Yeah,
Yes.
279, yeah, that's roughly the employees. Right?
Yes.
Why?
No, that's the amount of people we have in the rank and
rank
file.
and file.
279 employees.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's much better. All right, so if it was 120 hours times 2380 times 279, so holidays were costing the city 796, 824, and under your proposal, what's it drop to 90 hours? Did you
Yes.
say?
With the ability in the future to negotiate those back then.
$199,206. Okay. City agrees?
That would be also keeping the 2% the first year.
All right, hang on.
We want to make sure we go,
Yeah, we gotta dissect this
yeah.
carefully. Can I one of my cheat sheets back? I gave it away.
Yep. Get this. Papers that I don't want to come out.
Okay, so let's go step by step.
Step by step.
FY14, what's gonna happen?
FY14, 2% GWI to those at max.
Okay,
The steps stay in place.
okay,
The savings would be 111.
Yeah, anybody in the steps gives up the 2% GWI.
Right. Fiscal year 15, the steps stay in place at 3%. Assumable GWI would go towards the reduced work week. Step, or year 3, 3% GWI with the 1% applied towards a reduced work week. The 9 hours, the 12 to 9 hour drop from the holiday pay, which is the additional $200,000. When we left, that's what we understood, is we had to come up with an additional $200,000.
okay, that is correct. But that statement assumed the city's numbers, and that means you get your steps all 3 years. You give up GWIs in 15 and 16, and we implement this on January 1, 16. That's where the 200,000 was coming from, was based on the city's assumptions, where we still needed $200,000 more, and that's where these came from. It's either 0.5% on the pension, or reduce the slots, or take out.
Chris, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah.
Where did that come in, the GWI? We were given up 1% of the GWI, so are you telling us basically what you're saying is the city says that the accruals, they don't value those at anything?
The accruals.
The reduction in accruals. That we
Annually.
have to-
Of annual leave?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I said that a number of times.
Where's the-
Annual leave accruals
So you're,
mean nothing to the city. That reduction, I tell you, that's the soft money, it's not budgeted, it doesn't count as
and
anything.
there's no number that anybody can give us in the city regarding FLSA.
No, I don't have that study done, and at most, we're probably talking like being very generous, maybe 100 grand. And that would require ICS reprogramming a whole year's worth of
We need to
pay.
take out the things.
Yeah.
I want to make sure
let's
before we
just
do.
Yeah, let's just make
Before
sure.
we do, we understand this.
If you look at the city's last proposal, that was the best and final. What we have here in FY14, 15, and 16 still holds true. That we'll call that kind of like a constant. And the city still needed 200,000 on top of what's here to get that done. And that's where the last bullet point comes in. It was either that the ideas from the city were contribute an additional 0.5% towards pension, reduce the number of slots, take away the steps. You've offered option D, which is great, and that's the holidays, and I'm fine with that. That's the 200,000 we were looking for. But these first 3 bullet points still need to be
Okay, well, Well, I do have an issue with one thing. The accrual is telling us that there's of zero value, because in my opinion, I can't accept that. If you're willing to say that the accruals will stay the same and we won't change the accruals, then I can live with that. They can't have to be changed, Chris, if they're not worth some kind of money. I mean, honestly.
You're already getting a reduced work week. Why does it have to be money? It's a benefit. It's to give you time off annually.
I know, but
It doesn't have a cost to the city because those 10 slots are still going to be filled every shift. And so we're still going to be paying someone overtime to fill that
Chris,
position.
I'm not
That's
arguing
understood.
there. What
Right.
I'm saying is that the accrual does have a value. If I can accrue 120 hours a year, that means I can use 120 hours a year of vacation.
Correct.
All right, if I reduce those to 100 hours, there's 20 hours I can't accrue that the city doesn't have to pay me.
I'll take it under consideration. If that's your offer, that's your offer.
I mean-
I just don't think it's not gonna fly. I've already had that conversation. It's considered, I'm not articulating it very well, but it doesn't help the city. The same amount of money is gonna go out in fiscal years 14, 15, and 16, regardless of how many accruals you get.
See, I don't see it that way. If I got 120 hours a year, and I did that for 3 years, I'd have 360 hours that the city would be paying me for that I use for vacation. If I reduce those accruals to 100 hours, then I've got 300 hours. So over that 3-year spread, the city has just not had to pay me for 60 hours of vacation
And
time.
I'm not off as much, so therefore you don't have to hire time and a half back.
But it's paying you, it's paying the same amount of money. It doesn't matter each week, whether you take annual leave or not, the city's paying you the same amount in dollars. It's either in 001 time, which is the code for regular pay, or you're putting in the 020 code, or whatever it is, 020 code. The same amount of money is leaving the city's coffers week in and week out, whether you have 1,000 hours of vacation.
I just don't see it that way. I don't see how if I can burn 120 hours a year and I reduce it down to 100 hours a year, that the city's not, is telling me they're not going to save any money. Like, it's just 20 hours that they're not paying me for.
It's not true, you are getting paid for it. You're getting paid for it with
Well, no,
the
I'm
same
working.
green dollars
I know,
that come out of payroll.
but I'm working that 20 hours rather than being off that 20 hours and somebody else happening to be paid to work that.
So you're saving us overtime. All right. I don't know that I'm done arguing about it because
Well, no, I
it's
mean-
not my decision.
Okay,
Okay.
well, Chris, all
We'll
we're
go
trying to
back.
do is, we keep coming up with numbers that we think are right where we need to be, and every time we're told something a little different. We just came up with $200,000, and we didn't realize that over the whole several months that we've been negotiating that. And I know that before you've said that the accruals, you guys considered them soft money, and we, on the other hand, said we didn't consider them soft money.
I recall, my proposal last time was a best and final, and it did not count the accruals, or reduction in accruals. I thought we had
Right.
put that to bed.
Well-
And if that wasn't
What are you saying?
your impression,
It didn't, what are you saying? It didn't.
I thought the issue was done. We weren't accepting that as
Oh, no.
any
So-
reduction whatsoever.
So let's go back to where we're at right now.
Okay.
Okay. Our proposal, the one we handed you today,
Yes.
okay? Add to that proposal the,
That's still
Reduction.
important because
it's
I'm
200,000.
not taking that.
Okay.
Because I needed more than 200,000 from your proposal. I needed our proposal and an option of 200,000 somewhere, as you can see on that, the shortened version. That is full steps and GWI, steps in 14, GWI for those
Right.
at max.
Okay.
15 steps for those stepping.
All right, we're gonna take a call.
Okay.
But bottom line is, reduced work week still does not take effect until 2016.
January 1, 2016. That puts the city still, that's 200,000 that you're getting the benefit of.
Unless
At
we
least.
come up with $1.4 million.
Yeah, unless you come up with the money. And whether the city does
I got to check.
that 200 through an 18, hiring only 18 or hiring 21, the city will decide that in January of 2016. But one way or another, it's losing money on this deal. 245.
One more on the reduced work week proposal,
Okay.
and we'll go from there. Probably back to square one on a couple of things. We understand where you're at with the financial end of the reduced work week and the cost. We also understand the impact regarding GWIs and the reduced work week, accruals, everything across the table. We're looking at taking holiday to, instead of 10 annually, 5 annually, which is a savings of right about $400,000.
Okay.
With the 200-hour cap.
Okay. All right, so that gives you 200,000 to work with. Do you want the work week moved up to a sooner time, or do you want some other benefit? Because I only needed 200 and you're giving 400.
Well, the first 200 was reducing it at a quarter, now we're reducing it at half.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You're given 200,000
We came
more
up-
than you needed to.
No, you said we needed 200 more thousand.
When we left here, we had offered $200,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
And we just
I
added
got it,
200,000.
I got it,
Okay.
never mind.
Okay.
That's where your extra 200,000 was. Okay. So it's the first 3 bullet points of the city's proposal, with the addition of them, instead of A and B that I have here, you came up with option C, and that is to take your holidays in half.
Yes.
Are you agreeing to the first 3 bullet points?
Yeah, that's the thing, is if you accept.
We're agreeing to,
I don't know if we have the same paper.
Yeah, we may need a copy of that.
Okay, it's what I handed out
Okay, that's the one I
at
have
the
right
very last.
see, that's where we're looking at our proposal, okay?
Okay,
Can you go get a copy of that?
then we have to take it step by step.
Yes.
What is your proposal for fiscal year 14?
Fiscal year 14.
Take it slow.
2% GWI,
For those at max.
and those at max, with a Me Too clause on the 2%.
Okay, and steps for those stepping.
Yes. The savings, year 1 would be $110,000. 15.
Okay, slow. Okay,
Yeah, 111,000, sorry. The assuming 3% GWI 2015, which is a number that we originally
Good.
from you. Put the GWI towards a reduced work week,
okay,
which is $504,000. The amount from 2014 step employee savings is $111,000. The obvious,
okay, you want
Disagreement
you want
we have.
steps.
yes,
Okay, taking it slow. So that's 15 GWI for those at max, but the whole GWI is going towards reducing
That's
the work week.
3%, and
Okay.
anything over 3%, we would
Understood.
look at a Me Too clause, anything over 3% year 2.
Yeah, that's not happening. And steps though, you want the steps
Yes.
in 15.
Yes.
Okay.
16.
FY 16.
The 3% GWI. Take the 1% towards reduced work week, which is 168.
I'm sorry, the 1%.
The 1% of the 3, in other words. It's 2% GWI.
He's saying.
Give up,
No, help me. You're saying
give up.
you want the city commit to giving you a 2% raise right now in FY 16, and taking 1% of that and
A
putting it
3% and giving 1% back. A 3% GWI, returning 1%.
towards- Okay. I can stop you right there then. I can't accept that. Cannot accept that.
And the difference in the cost.
These 3 bullet points are carved in stone. They need these 3 and unlimited choices you have any other way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I don't take it on the alphabet. I need $200,000. I need these 3 bullet points plus $200,000. I'll let you come up with the $200,000. The holidays is a great idea, but I need these 3 bullet points.
You give me more copies of that, 'cause I don't have. So anyway, we're saying that. Okay. We started.
Yeah.
315.
We're looking over a lot of, obviously, options, possibilities. And I'm looking for, at this time, a couple of numbers from you.
Okay.
It's going to better, obviously, help us in the overall goal. And I think that's where the concern is, obviously. We've hit on a couple numbers as far as reducing holidays, taking GWIs down percents here and there. Is 2015 an assumption on 3%?
No.
It's not.
No.
Okay. Is there any type of a number, a min-max, anything that we can look at?
15, the city was willing to commit 2%, and it's, in looking at the big picture, to come up with a final number where I need the 200,000 or 2% years 14, 15, and 16 are the assumptions. Well, 14 is more than an assumption. 15 and 16 are 2% assumptions.
Okay, with that in mind, then we're going to go ahead and probably just set up another meeting and revisit this to where we can take a good hard look at it and go from there. And those numbers are,
Okay, let's make that perfectly clear one more time. That how I arrived at these 3 bullet points, 14, 15, 16, they're based on 2%.
okay, because that was not there,
And
okay.
it's based on, no, it's not. And it was based on giving steps all 3 years,
Right,
giving the 2% in 14,
right.
and then taking the GWIs in 15 and 16. And then that left us 200,000 short.
Which the options,
And then
Right.
your, whatever option you want to come up with, I don't care how you do it. as long as it's, I shouldn't say that, as long as it's a real dollar savings somehow to the city, not annually with rules, not some other soft type cost.
Okay.
Something
Can I ask you
substantial.
a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, if we work on this, we come back with the numbers that you want.
Mm-hmm. I'll sign immediately.
Okay, now the question we have though, before we go any further is, we expect at this point in time, since it's soft money, that our accrual figure of 1.4 would stay the same and it would naturally reduce by less hours worked.
I'm not gonna agree to anything until I see a
Okay.
final offer from you.
Okay.
I don't see that getting a whole lot of traction because now it's gonna just erupt into another fight with the captains and DCs. So, I'm not optimistic about that, but I'll withhold any decision until I see a whole package proposal.
Okay, because what we're concerned about is the fact that we go through this, come back with it at the table with the right amount of money, and then that becomes the issue that's a sticking point, because.
And it very well could be, because the city is still 200,000 in the red, and I'll show you the math. And that's even if we only hired 18 firefighters, we're 100 grand in the red doing that. So I can't see throwing in something like the additional accruals just to do that. Now, I could be wrong, I don't make that decision, but
And
you're
part
only
of the reason
inviting
we're
trouble
bringing
with
that
that.
up is the fact that we look at that again as the soft money issue. And that's why the accruals.
I know the city doesn't place a value on it, but we,
And it would take,
we certainly place a value on it. It just, it is not real dollars coming in or going out to the city. It's just not. And I can't articulate it any better. If you don't understand it, there's nothing I could say that's going to make you understand that anyway. But now you realize then you're dividing and conquering your own unit again.
well, we've discussed it to a point, but.
Okay, well, let's schedule another.
What date? First part of next week, midweek, Wednesday?
I'm gonna be here. You guys tell me when you wanna do it. I can do it Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday the 18th is management team. We should do 1:30.
Yeah. Well, I already have police that day, so I get out of that.
Can do it in the morning, right? Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, I can do it this way. I can do Thursday this week, Friday, anytime but Wednesday in the afternoon.
How about Monday the 16th,
Okay, I like it.
What time?
same time?
1:30.
Bill?
Got ballots for the morning.
Sooner.
1:30 p.m. and I will try to get back to room 800. Assume that for now.
Yes.
And I'll just email you if it's,
Okay.
if
How
it's
about the
different.
16th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Okay,
We're all good?
that wraps up
Bargaining session 9.
bargaining session number
All right,
9.
we'll see you on Monday for 10. And you still want to do?
We'll come back with them.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back with them next.
We've got time.
All right, yeah.